everyone, today's video is going to be another chit chat. Get ready with me. I am going to use a couple of new products, the Haus Labs Lady Gaga eyeshadow palette. I also did receive a brush set in PR from BK Beauty, their Nikki Rose Pro Artist series. So I am going to test out their new brushes. And I think that's, and then I wanted to try this hair oil I bought. I'm not really a big oil person, and I am going out. I'm doing my makeup for a luncheon today, so I hope I don't grease up my hair, but I did get the Shu Uemura Art of Hair hair oil, so we'll see. My hair is already pretty healthy, but we'll see if it adds some extra shine to it. So that's what we're doing today, just with a little chit-chat. So we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to leave my bangs down. My long-term viewers, and I probably haven't talked about this in a year or two, but I used to get a lot of comments about pulling my bangs out of my face when I did my get ready with me or my makeup. The issue is, if I pull my bangs back, they're ruined for the rest of the day. I would have to completely wet my hair. It's not just wetting the bangs down, it's something the way it lays with the rest of the hair. It just, I'm 57 years old. I kind of know my hair. And if I pull it back or pull it to the side, it just does weird things. My bangs are like strange. And they are something that the minute I get out of the shower, I'll have to blow dry my bangs, even if I let the rest of my hair air dry for a while. Okay, I'm just curling my lashes with my Rephr eyelash curler. It is my favorite eyelash curler. Rephr is having their 50% off Black Friday sale. So you can get any of their brushes 50% off. I have tons of videos on the ones that I like, even some shorts if you don't want to watch an entire video. So anyways, you can find the information on my channel. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to just moisturize my skin with my Embryolisse Le Creme Concentrate. The original, they've changed the color of the packaging, but the formulation hasn't changed. Yeah, this is just such a great makeup primer. If you have normal, it's really for all skin types, but if you have normal to dry skin, I just feel like it is that perfect level of moisture. It kind of plumps up your fine lines before you start applying your concealer or foundation or powder foundation or whatever on your skin. When your skin is plump, it just looks better when you apply your makeup on. Okay, so I'm going to just let that set for a while. Let's start with the eyes. I was going to return this because my friend Kat, she did not like it at all. She said it swatched beautifully, but the payoff wasn't very good and it was very glittery. And so even I'm going to a luncheon, a Veterans Day luncheon, most people will be in like business attire, and I don't own any business attire, so I'm going in a sweater. But anyway, it is a beautiful thing. By the time I watched Kat from Cat's Eye Beauty, her review of this palette, it had already been shipped. I had already ordered it because I thought it was pretty. And it has a couple of matte shades, and then over here, these are the shimmer, more glittery shades. We have different skin types, so I thought maybe it'll work a little bit different. So I decided to keep it also because I didn't have anything else really new here, which brings me to the point, new makeup. If you've, again, watched my channel for a while, you'll know that I don't do as much makeup reviews. It's just hard to buy a lot of new makeup. I mean, I have more makeup than any human being would ever need. Yeah, it's hard to just keep spending on new makeup, especially since I pretty much have the same look every time I go out. It might just be a different brand, but it's the same look, and I just don't need 20. It's like a pair of black pants, I just don't need 20 pairs of black pants. I just don't need, 20 different eyeshadows for the same look, even though I have more than 20 currently. All right, so I might want to put an eyeshadow primer on. I thought I had one up up here. I might grab a primer just because if it's supposed to have a lot of fallout, yeah, if it's supposed to have a lot of fallout, primer can help it stay put. So this is just the Alter Ego eyeshadow base. It's nice and silky. It's not color or shaded. So I like it. It has a little bit of a brightening effect on my skin. It almost has, I don't know if it has like a little sheen. It dries matte though, so it's not really a sheen. Maybe it just looks luminous when it's wet. Now, a lot of makeup artists also will suggest putting your primer, I'll just try it today, where you put your concealer. So we'll start with there. I am going to start with my eyeshadow first again, because if it has fallout, I don't want it on my face if I've already put on face makeup. Oh, but I'm going to start again with the BK Beauty Nikki Rose Pro Artist Series. I'm glad they have a liner brush. It has an angled liner, which is a brush that I need in my collection. A short little smudger. I like firm smudgers. It's nice and soft. Here's the blender brush. Of course, BK Beauty brushes. She is a cruelty-free company. These are all synthetic materials that they're very soft and they have a good payoff. I guess what they call it. Yes. Superior pickup and payoff. Okay. So I am just going to start. I don't really see an overall lid one though. Yeah, I don't see one really to put the color on my lid. So I am going to revert back to my Reffer number 33 for a one and done lid color. This one was sold out when they started on November 1st, when they started their Black Friday sale. Then they emailed me a week later and said they got it back in stock, but it's still not like a super stock. They didn't expect it to be so popular. But I'm going to try it just with this medium neutral kind of shade and apply it all over the lid. Okay, my first impression, so it looks a little, it's light. It's obviously a light color for me, so maybe I'll just even take it up all the way to the top. Yeah, it's a very flat matte. It doesn't really have any dimension to it, but that's what we want, right? Okay, next I'm going to go in with this brown shade right here. I'll go in with the big Nikki Rose blender set. It is the only thing I don't like. I didn't put anything on it, but it was tinted. You know, like this one is tinted. So if I use this for bronzer, I'm less sure how much color product I'm getting on when the brushes already start tinted. All right, so I'm going to put this right in the crease area, pushing it up, not down, because I want it on the orbital bone, not on my lid. Okay, and then I'm going to go in with this little shimmer, this rose colored shimmer on my finger. Well, it definitely has a lot of color. It might be a little bit more a nighttime. It is more, I guess, instead of just shimmery, it is a little more glittery. So I do feel like, as much as I'm trying to test it out, I do need to take it off because it is too much for a business luncheon. Okay, so I am going to take it off. It is definitely more of an evening palette in my opinion. So I have been watching a show on Apple TV with my husband. Normally, it's really hard for my husband and for me and my husband to find a show that we both like to watch. We used to like to watch a lot together, like NCIS and things like that. But lately he's gone more, you know, hardcore into Narcos and, you know, drug lord, violent type movies. And of course I've been leaning more towards the just happy-go-lucky, like season 1 of Ted Lasso. Yeah, so we're having a hard time finding shows that we both like. But on Apple TV, they have one called Drops of God, and it's about the wine industry. It's not about the wine industry. It is about a wine critic who passes away with this huge wine collection and a home, and it's worth like one and a half or 150 million or something like that. And he has a contest on whether the entire inheritance will be left to his daughter that he had been estranged from, or someone that was like his protege when he was teaching. And so we've watched 4 episodes, and it's really good. You know, there are 3 tests that they have to do. Kind of tells backstory. You kind of find out, you know, why he's even potentially leaving it to this protege. If my husband and I were not trying to watch it together, I would have been done with it and known how it ended up. But we haven't been able to find time because, of course, he's a pilot. He's gone a lot, and to watch past episode 4. So it's been 2 weeks and I've not gotten past episode 4, and I'm just dying to figure out the whole story. If you've seen it, don't spoil it for me, but it's very good. It is a good show, not high violence. I mean, my husband likes wine, so maybe that's why he's more interested in it too, but we are enjoying it together, which is unusual. Okay, I'm just going to grab a palette that I know I like. I'll do the similar shades. It's the Rare Beauty Give Yourself Grace palette. Going to kind of take this off. I'm going to go in here with this end shade, this kind of mauve shade. I know I like this. It actually just looks so much better on my eyes anyways. Apply that on my eyes. And then I'm just going to take this rose gold middle shade. And you might not be able to see the difference, but this one, it does have a little bit of glimmer. It's just not as high sheen, right? So when I'm looking in my mirror here, it's not this like noticeable, like holiday type nighttime makeup. It just has a subtle highlight. So just a little bit of differences. And that's kind of when I do like a lot of my Charlotte Tilbury. I like it because it's just a subtle shimmer. I like a little bit of shimmer that draws your attention to the eyes, but I don't really want it to draw attention to the eyeshadow. I'm afraid if I start trying to add like a darker outer corner, then it's going to take it back into that nighttime look. So I'm not going to do anything there. What foundation should I wear today? Just wear what's sitting in front of me, which is the Forever Skin Glow 3.5N. And I'm going to use, this is an interesting brush. Look at this face brush. In one side, it's solid, and then it's duo tipped on the other side. I probably should have watched the video about the brushes. Of course, I'm kind of like, things shouldn't be so complicated that you have to watch a video to find out how to use a brush. It's not listed here, anything about the different sides. So I'm just going to kind of go right in. I'm going to use the two-tone side because that is probably the, well, I know they're both synthetic, but I'm using it as a paddle brush. I do love this foundation. It is fragrant. So if you're not into any fragrance, then you might not like it. My skin is not sensitive to fragrance. Next, well, maybe we'll go into the bronzer, and I'll use this brush, which is the 15. This is their medium powder. Oh, okay, so I'll not use that yet. Do we not have the 14? Okay, this is the multitasker, the number 14. I'll use this for my bronzer, but before that, I forgot concealer. I don't put on concealer a lot, but I'm going to today. This is the Kosas. This is an old favorite. 6.8W is the shade. I haven't used concealer in a while. This one really, I was thinking it was going to be a little bit brightening, but it's not. But I do have a concealer brush, which is why I wanted to use concealer. So this is their N16. I like it. It's firm, but it's got a bunch of long bristles. I don't know if you can see this. Longer sheer bristles at the tip. It's kind of fun. I like it that it's still firm, though, because I feel like you need to be firm to pat in the concealer. But you can kind of get a nice, sweet with it too. I'm going to clean up any eyeshadow. All right, now I'm going to use the Precision Multitasker brush with my cracked bronzer from Charlotte Tilbury. Woo! So the luncheon that I'm going to today, this will be my third one, and once a month they have different speakers. This is a Veterans Day speaker, and I have been late the last 2 months, like so late that everyone's seated, they're getting ready to announce the speaker. I walk in and have to kind of like walk through a room where I don't know anybody, right? And they're all dressed in business attire except for me. Well, not they're all. I'd say about a third are not in business attire. And find a seat. And the first time there was only one seat across the room, found it. Second time, there were no seats. And then I finally see one. I sit down in it. Everyone's kind of staring at me. Sit down in it. And then a lady comes up and that had been against the wall. And she goes, oh, that's my seat. And so then I had to get up and I'm like, okay, there's no seats there. But somebody who was a regular at these meetings gave up her seat, which was super, super, super nice. Anyways, the issue was, for whatever reason, I just had the start time wrong. I mean, in my mind, I thought I was getting there 15 minutes early, and I was actually getting there 15 minutes late. So I was thinking that the speaker started at 11:30, the speaker started at 11:30. I got there at 11:15, but it turns out the doors open at 10:30. 10:30 for a luncheon. And so they introduced the speaker about 11:15. So anyways, I'm determined, third time's a charm, to be there on time, especially being a Veterans Day speaker, and I am a veteran. I am definitely interested in being there at the correct time. All right, my brows, Kosas Brow Pop. Oh, my brows, I haven't been using any sort of serum or anything. Maybe it's the winter, the colder weather, the humidity, but I feel like my brows have been filling themselves in a little bit on their own. I don't know why. So the one thing I'm finding moving into a new town, city, state, all of the above, it is hard to find a doctor. I have not been able to find a doctor that's taking new patients that I can get in before like February. I'm going to try again. So what happened was, originally in October, I called the health center. Big one that takes our insurance here is Vanderbilt Health. And they are like, oh, we have 2 appointments next week. And I was like, oh, but those days were not good. If I had known how hard it would be to get into a doctor, I should have taken them. But they weren't good times for me. I think I might have had my shoulder surgery or PT scheduled. And so I said, well, let me call you back. And so then I called back the following week and, can't get until February, and nobody's taking new appointments. The one thing about those doctors were just whoever doctors. But then when I started calling on my list of friends that recommended their doctors to me that were in that Vanderbilt health system, none of them were taking new patients. Then I tried to just take anybody, and February was the first I could get. So I really messed up by skipping the doctor appointments when they were first offering them. So I don't know if they only open up new patients, just a few, at the beginning of the month. And so, you miss the boat if you don't call at the beginning of the month. I have no idea, but I need to try again, see if I can get an earlier appointment. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Duo. I mean, look how tiny this is. I didn't order a replacement because some of my Charlotte Tilbury products are, need replacements. So I placed my order when I was thinking about it, and then they canceled immediately. Or not immediately, because I had left my computer. They canceled maybe within the hour with no explanation. So then I kind of looked at their frequently asked questions, and they said, oh, sometimes they cancel if the credit card information doesn't align. But I've ordered with it's like a saved credit card. And anyway, I have no idea why they canceled my order. Now I have to remember to get to the computer. I mean, look how tiny this is. I really can barely sharpen it again. And I like this, the Nudes Duo. It's not at Sephora. You have to order it from Charlotte Tilbury online. And yeah, it's almost done. All right, I'm going to smudge it with their little Ultimate Angle brush. I like this. I used to just use a MAC one. This one's wider. It's wider and the bristles are a little bit firmer, so I can get more of a smudge. Because I like liner underneath my eyes. I know, gosh, I mean, I think since my 20s, people were telling me not to put liner underneath my eyes. But back then, I had really dark, thick lashes underneath, and so my eyes were still rimmed in dark. And I like my eyes to be rimmed in dark. And now that my lashes are light and not as dark, I definitely feel like I need more liner, not less. Otherwise, my eyes look kind of washed out because everything else is so dark. Okay, blush. You know, today's kind of a Charlotte Tilbury day. I pulled out something else that I have not used in a while. It's a Pillow Talk Cheek to Chic in Intense. This is their Pillow Talk Intense. I kind of feel like I should be using the back side of this as a blush brush, so that's what I'm going to do. I just kind of wiped it off on my towel that I have laid out in front of me. I will say something about Charlotte Tilbury. It's so graceful. I mean, the colors are subtle. They're never bold. They don't really like jump out, but they just are beautiful. That's why it's been one of my favorite brands forever. Now I'll powder it with the airbrush powder. That is the hit pan, so I definitely need to reorder this. This would be a good gift actually for my family to give me for Christmas. They're always wondering what to get me for Christmas because I tend to buy whatever I want when I see it, so I don't give them a lot of options. I'll say my under eye area is definitely getting drier, so I need to make sure I'm using an eye cream because normally when I powder with this, my eyes don't look dry underneath and they look dry. So I'm going to have to start testing out moisturizing eye creams. I'll just take a little bit of moisturizer. And it just could be the age, right? You know, you always hear, or I don't know, you might not always hear, but they say that when you get to be a certain age, and I know sometimes people don't like age-related things, but that you don't ever put powder under your eye. So it's that double-edged sword, right? Because the powder can prevent your concealer and your makeup from moving and sliding into your under eye area, which happens more often as we age. But then the powder also looks more drying and cakey. I'm gonna have to rethink powdering. Lipstick. I'm like looking to see what's in front of me. I think I'm going to use this Lisa Eldridge. This will be my little pop of color since I kind of have a bold print. This is in blush. Lisa Eldridge is a UK makeup artist, and so she has her lisaeldridge.com website. Anyway, I love her products. They make me feel kind of, again, glamorous, upscale. Using them, packaging's beautiful. I like her lip glosses. I think they're like $25, not overly pricey. And then what I do like, because sometimes people are hesitant to purchase things from brands overseas. If you didn't like a shade or something wasn't working for you and you did need to return it, you pay for your own return shipping, but it's to a US address, so it's not like international when if you had to send it back. Okay, I'm finished with my voluminous eyelash primer, my Beyond mascara, City Beauty Beyond mascara. City Beauty is having their Cyber Monday sale. I think it starts next week. Isn't it funny? The Black Friday sales start at the beginning of November now, and the Cyber Monday sales start before Black Friday. I cannot believe It is Thanksgiving next week. In fact, I was just talking to a friend, so we were just looking at the calendar, and I was like, oh my gosh, next week is Thanksgiving. I have to buy a turkey. I have not bought a turkey yet. I need to buy a turkey. My other daughter's coming in on Tuesday from Arizona, my oldest daughter. Yeah, I'm just not prepared. I'm thinking Thanksgiving is 2 weeks away, but it's next week. Okay, this is the look for my business luncheon. Let me spray. Charlotte Tilbury again. You can see what my favorite brand is for regular day-to-day wear. Oh, and let's check out this oil now. It's a nourishing protective hair oil. 1 or 2 pumps. Oh, dry, very damaged hair, and normal hair. Okay, that's mine. Instantly moisturize. All right, I just want to make sure it doesn't say use on wet hair, because I was looking for a hair oil to kind of give gloss to dry hair. We'll see. All right, here's my pump. I'll start at the ends. Oh, it smells. Oh, so good. Ooh. Well, my hands are exceptionally greasy and slippery. I'll have to wash those. Okay, so I think my hair does look really healthy. I think it is reflecting the light. I just have to give it some time, make sure it doesn't weigh everything down, but it doesn't feel heavy. If it helps against the static, that will be great. Okay, that's it. This is going to be my look for the day. If you have a favorite show that you're watching right now, I have everything but Hulu. So I've got Netflix, Max, Peacock, Paramount, Discovery, Apple, and we do YouTube TV. So if you have any suggestions, oh, and Amazon, on those channels, or actually any suggestions at all, because other viewers might be interested, go ahead and leave down in the comments below what shows that you're watching right now. As always, appreciate everyone being here. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.